Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Garman. I work at the University of West Florida's Innovation Institute. And through this conversation and others in the coming days and maybe even weeks, we're going to do our best to highlight some of the wonderful services provided to UWF students, faculty, staff, as we all try to get through this. So we're really specifically going to be talking about things outside of the classroom. And with that in mind, allow me to bring in my first guest. This is Dr. Michele Manassah, Executive Director for Counseling and Health Services at the University of West Florida. Dr. Manassah, how are you?
I'm good, Christian. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. And let me say right off the bat, it's good to hear that you're good, now more than ever. What I'd like to ask you firstly is, let's talk about CAPS. That's Counseling and Psychological Services. What is that? Can you give us an overview of what that is and who it serves?
Sure. Counseling and Psychological Services, affectionately known on campus as CAPS, provides services to all students, undergraduate, graduate students, commuters, resident students, and we're really there to support student mental health. We know that students are most successful when barriers are removed, and often mental health issues, emotional issues are some things that students really struggle with and can impede their academic success. So we are there to support students.
And obviously, these are very challenging times. I would imagine that you all are very busy, maybe busier than you've ever been. What are some of the chief concerns, the chief things you're hearing from students right now as it relates to everything that has happened since the campus stopped having students, of course, show up, and obviously since everything took off with the coronavirus?
Sure. So much like the rest of us at UWF, students are really into week 2 now of whatever their new normal is looking like. And for many students, they are still figuring out what that new normal is. Everything from transitioning to maybe a new place of living, off of the campus, back home with parents, to navigating courses online. Also things like the loss of being with their friends, the loss of being with their cohort.
When students reach out, are they talking to someone, or are these online services, is it chatting? How does it actually work?
Students have access to a counselor 24/7, just as always. With the exception of that right now, students have access to counselors by phone. And so students call CAPS just as they always would, and they follow the prompts and they're connected to a counselor.
And I mean, you gave some examples of the things that so many students are going through. Has it just sort of skyrocketed in terms of interaction with students right now? Or are you finding that they're sort of still finding their own way and haven't reached out as much as maybe you thought?
That's exactly what we're finding, Christian. I think students are still settling in, and the ones that we're checking in with, the ones that we're hearing from, are actually doing pretty well right now. However, we are concerned that the longer this goes on, that we will start hearing more from students experiencing things like anxiety and loneliness from the isolation. And so those are things that we are trying to get out in front of and be prepared to address in the coming weeks.
So we're all, practicing social distancing, of course. We're hopefully all staying at home as we've been told to do. With that, though, a walk around the block is really nice, or a quick run, or any sort of exercise. Is that okay? Is that helpful in times like this?
That is absolutely helpful and actually recommended. As long as you're practicing social distance and not engaging in activities where you would be sharing equipment with another person, we recommend getting out, getting outside in the fresh air, and getting some exercise. Part of helping to adjust to a new normal involves maintaining a routine, and part of that routine is self-care. And self-care can include everything from good sleep hygiene and nutrition to exercising. And we know that exercising, even if it's just walking, positively contributes not only to physical health, but to mental health as well.
What about, I want to talk about therapy assistance online, TAO, which I know is a program at UWF that's relatively new, only came around, I think, in October. So even before this, maybe people weren't aware, but I have a feeling that it can be really useful. What is it, and who's eligible to enjoy the services of TAO?
Sure. TAO, as you said, stands for Therapy Assistance Online. It is a online platform that features self-help modules to help people address issues such as anxiety, depression, other common concerns, as well as features a whole library of mental health related resources. Everything from mindfulness tools to psychosocial educational resources. It's available 24/7. It's free and it's available actually to the entire campus community.
Hmm.
So we are offering this not only to students, but to faculty and staff too, recognizing that we're sort of all in this together. You can access it on the CAPS website, or even easier, it's uwf.edu/TAO, TAO.
That is easy. The last thing I want to ask you is for people who are seeing this, students or otherwise, and I know you want them to embrace your services. What do they do? What's the easiest, smartest way to reach you and your team and to sort of really plug into some of these services?
Two things. The first thing they can do is simply call us. They can call us at the main number. They can always reach a counselor 24/7, as I mentioned before. There are also prompts to provide information about TAO and other national hotlines. In addition, I encourage people to go to our website, take a look at the information about the services we're providing now, and our phone number and how to access that way. And also there's a direct link to TAO from our website.
Okay, so lots of ways to make use of these wonderful services. Dr. Michele Manassah, Executive Director of Counseling and Health Services at the University of West Florida. Sure appreciate your time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.